The next day, Kere-ko receives the Romans. Its new palace is furnished with great taste. The small towers, the windows with decorated frames, painted in light colors, give the palace a very decorative appearance. Inside, Orestes admires the height of the turned and polished wooden columns. Several of them are decorated with sculptures and bas-reliefs. Polished wood panels is in the great palace, decorated with reliefs of animal style, decorate the walls. But everything is more elegant, the proportions are more harmonious. The curtains are finer and better decorated. In passing between two rows of guards, with ceremonial arms and splendid armor, the Romans enter the great hall. Furnished with rich carpets of wool and felt, couches and cushions. Kere-ko receives them half lying on a sofa. His beauty and the nobility of his face, whose features correspond well to the Roman and Greek canons, strike Orestes. But her skin is clearer than that of beautiful Roman women. She has a long black braid and wears very different clothes and jewels. Her companion ladies, who form a semicircle around her, are seated on carpets and occupied by embroidery and other handicrafts of luxury craftsmanship. Even the soles of the boots of Kere-ko and the noble ladies around her are decorated with beautiful pearl ornaments. Orestes gives with reverence to Kere-ko the letter for Attila and a gift for her. We ask you to consult the letter of our regent Galla Placidia and forward it to Attila. An interpreter of the palace this time translates. Kere-ko said with a smile, "Thank you for this gift. I will read this letter carefully and send it to Attila. Today I have just learned that an Aetius's messenger, who come from Gaul, will be here in a few days. You will therefore wait for Attila in the pleasant company of your compatriots. Tell me what is happening in the Roman world." Orestes begins the conversation. "Thank God. This year everything is calm. In Africa, the harvest is good, breeders and wine growers in Italy are also happy. Aetius completed his inspection of the army in Gaul. Emperor Theodosius II reorganized the University of Constantinople. Thank you for this interesting news. It's good that the year is calm for you. We also have some very interesting news from the Chinese border where, it seems to me, the period of anarchy is over. It is the Tabgach that now governs China. We have with them the same ancestors." Orestes is surprised. We are also aware that the people Tabgach now governs China. They are said to have begun to build superb temples. But I did not know that they are also Huns. Kere-ko corrects it. I say we have the same ancestors with them. Our languages are close and we have the same religion. Speak with my son Elik and his teacher Ongis the Greek. Elik is interested in our ancestors and the Eastern Huns. He has already traveled beyond the Ural Mountains and on the Aral Sea. Orestes is more surprised. "Excuse us, noble queen. But we think of Ravenna that Elik is the son of Enka deceased." "Not Enka but Enko. How badly you know us. We know everything about you. This is my old name. My name was Enko. I was given the honorary name of Kere-ko during the ceremony of Attila's proclamation as Khan, one of the sovereigns of Hunland. Kere means beautiful, and ko is an old word which means beautiful and noble lady." Confused, Orestes smiles. "It is a name destined for you. I'm glad Enka is not dead." Kere-ko gets up from. "I'll tell Elik he'll receive you tomorrow with wonders. The day after tomorrow, I invite you to the dinner I organize in honor of the distinguished guests who have arrived for the Sun Festival. This great feast will take place in 3 days. All the ladies around the queen stand up and bow to Orestes. The Romans thanked Kere-ko, also made the reverence and left the room. Sabir is waiting for them in the residence of the embassy, a large octagonal house. I've been here a long time. Tell me about your meeting with Kere-ko. Orestes replies. It is very pleasant and curious, we spoke at length. Tell us, Sabir, are the Tabgaches who now govern China also Huns? You mean Tabgach? But why do they interest you? It's amazing that the Huns can rule an ancient and prestigious empire. Salvian listens. Sabir begins with a pensive voice. I'm not sure what's happening now. But I can tell you some interesting things. My name is Sabir because I was born behind the Ural Mountains. This country is called Sibir as my people Sibir or Sabir, but you are a Hun. Hun means Kun or Kun Jono, that is to say, the people of the sun. We all speak about close languages, have the same types of houses, clothes and weapons. We believe in Tangra. Some pronounce this great name as Tangara, the others, Tangri or Tengri. But we are divided into people and tribes. Tangra is one of your gods. It is the only and all-powerful God. In fact, we believe, Christians and we, believe in same God. But I advise you to talk about these issues with our white shamans. You were born beyond the Ural Mountains. Yes, on the banks of the Irtish. I was raised by my grandfather because my mother died early and my father left with Khan Monday fighting in the west and he did not return from the war. My grandfather was old, but he was still strong and straight, fast in his movements. He related that his father had accompanied a Sabir's chief, who had gone to China at the invitation of a Hun Khan. Salvian exclaims involuntarily, in China. Yes, in China. My great-grandfather was shocked by the fact that one of this Khan's cupbearers was a Chinese emperor prisoner. The Chinese emperor, Orestes, is astounded, like our poor emperor Valerian, taken by Sapor, king of Persia. Valerian was obliged to kneel every time Sapor mounted his horse. Sapor put his foot on his back or even on his neck to sit on his saddle. Sabir remembers the custom of the ladies of the nobility to ride a horse by putting their feet on the back of a valet who was putting himself on all fours beside the horse. After a pause, he said, the following year he was decapitated and the king hunted the new emperor, who had to replace his predecessor in the role of cupbearer. There was no similar case of successive capture of two emperors in Roman history, and Orestes simply remarks, Valerian died quickly of grief and suffering. It is said that King Sapor ordered to make with his skin a mannequin as a memory of his victory, but I do not believe it. Astonished, Sabir looks at the Romans. Silence. Only the sound of fire is heard in the chimney. Sabir leaves his reflection and continues his narrative. My grandfather served a few years in the Tabgach army. He returned with magnificent weapons. The handle of his sword was in ivory and his helmet inlaid with decorative golden patterns. Orestes said with a rather tired voice, China is far away. We do not know much of what's going on there. Actually, we are not interested in this. The Roman embassy visited this empire only once a few centuries ago. Sabir reacts strongly. But we are interested. Defeated faraway peoples can arrive tomorrow and start fighting your people for their pasture. That is why we are aware of everything that happens in the Great Steppe. From the Danube to the Great Wall of China, we in Italy know very little of what is going on in the forests of northern Europe. In the forests the situation is very different. The inhabitants are poorly organized, they speak very different languages. In the Great Steppe everyone speaks of the close languages and move on fast horses, We salute by "What's up?" And if you are not on an urgent mission, you have to stop to exchange interesting news. Your account must be exact because the Huns do not know and do not like to lie. This custom is called Uzun Kulgak, the long ears. Orestes smiles. Today Kerke also told me. Tell me what is happening in the Roman world. He takes a look at Salvian and continues. She is so charming that I have recounted with pleasure all that I know. I answered with such application to his questions that I forgot to tell him that I saw Attila in my childhood. Sabir corrects. Not Kerke but Kere-ko. We are proud of our young Khan Attila and his beautiful wife. May God Almighty protect them. Salvian notes. The Huns do not know how to lie. Perfect. So, Sabir, you will soon tell me what common plans Attila and Aetius discussed. But several years have passed since. I must now observe everything in order to understand the motives of the actions of Attila and Aetius.